All right, ladies. So, welcome back to the podcast. Today, I've got a special guest. This is my client, Sam. Say hi, Sam.
Hello.
And at the start of the year, Sam was sitting at 170 pounds. She was feeling stuck with her health and fitness journey, and then she decided to join the Sculpted Method. And her transformation since then has been crazy, incredible, right? So, Sam, we're just gonna dive right in. How long have you been struggling with your health and fitness journey before joining the Sculpted Method?
I would say, so right now I'm 37. Probably for the past 10 to 15 years, I've always been interested in losing a few pounds. And that was something I never put too much effort into until maybe I would say about 2 years ago, I started going to the gym a bit with a friend. And previously, I had I used to go to fitness classes and I might do that for a month or two or 3 months and then kind of fall off of it. I might try doing some workouts, do it for a few months and fall off of it. But yeah, about 2 years ago, a friend of mine started taking me to the gym and I got built up a bit more confidence, so much that I officially joined a gym about a year and a half ago. And I was able to lose probably about 15 or 20 pounds on my own, but I never really understood what to do when I would hit a plateau. And I didn't quite have all the pieces put together until I met you in January.
Cool. Or like, do you feel like you're just going to the gym and you're like hoping, yo, I hope I lose more weight. But then do you feel like you were stuck at
Yeah, like I
losing 15
knew,
pounds?
yeah, I knew that it had to do with exercise and I knew it had to do with food. But the thing I struggled with is I did not have much confidence for the workouts at the gym. And honestly, I was way too cheap to hire a personal trainer, and it wasn't quite in the budget to do that. So I would do what I knew, but I didn't always necessarily know exactly the ways to push myself. And I knew that nutrition was important, but I wasn't necessarily regularly tracking it in the ways that I do now, nor was I maybe aware of the amount of calories in certain things or what foods might make me feel more full or satiated or just overall feel better and make my gut feel better.
Okay. Do you mind sharing with the ladies like what your heaviest weight was or um what made you want to start your actual health and fitness journey 2 years ago when you started with your friend?
Absolutely. I don't officially know my highest. I think my highest could have been as high as around 220, which
Mhm.
would have been, I'm guessing, around 3 years ago. I notice when I look back on photos of myself in that sort of post-COVID, and I go, whoa, like I don't remember looking that way. But comparing myself and even photos from a year ago or 2 years ago to 3 years ago, I can see the difference. So that's my guess at my total highest. I think just by slowly becoming a little bit more active, slowly paying attention to what I'm eating, I was probably able to get down to around 200 without much attempt, just being slightly more active and not binging myself in COVID anxiety.
Yeah.
Um, and then 2 years ago when I started, I think I was around 190. And so I would say over about the course of a year, I lost 20 pounds. But I also feel like I was putting in the effort. And if I compare it to the effort I've put in over the past 9 months versus the effort I was putting in the year prior, my first year I lost 20 pounds. This past 9 months, I've lost 30 pounds. I feel like the effort is comparable, yet 20 pounds versus 30 pounds, 1 year versus honestly, I lost 30 pounds in about 6 months. It's just in
Yeah.
the last 3 months I've been focusing on strength over weight loss. Um, and so, yeah, I would say that working with you has really made me be more efficient about how I'm putting my effort in and making sure it's targeting the right things. And it doesn't feel so much like effort anymore. It just feels like habits. Whereas in the past, it felt more restrictive and less of a habit, more of a rule.
Cool. And it felt like you were working harder before, right?
Yeah, I felt like I was working harder, not smarter.
That's what life is about, right? And like just to add, like if you look at what Sam looked like 3 years ago, it's honestly insane. Okay.
Can I? So I had a friend over the other day and she was looking through photos that I have in my apartment. And she held up a photo from a trip to Kelowna. I think it was 3 years ago. And she goes, Sam, I remember going on this trip with you. And I remember you, like we were on the trip together, but this doesn't look like you anymore. But you still look like Sam. And this is one of my longtime friends. And she just was, she said, I can't put it together. So even amongst my friends, they're like, I don't really remember you looking that big, but when I look at you now, I see how much smaller you look and I see how different you look, but you still feel like Sam. You still are Sam. And it's a strange thing. And even for myself, I don't notice it when I look in the mirror, but I notice it in photos really clearly.
That's cool. That's super rewarding to see as well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like once you joined the program, what was something that surprised you the most uh when you started?
I think what surprised me the most was that I actually stuck with it. I feel in the past, whenever I've gone on a attempted to start like a healthier eating habit or a walking goal or a working out goal. Or like earlier, I said how I might do some fitness for a few months and then it would drop off. And I think what changed for me in this program was learning that you can have an off day, you can have an off week. It doesn't mean that that's completely over. Someone told me recently, don't let a slip become a slide. And I think that really stuck with me because we're going to have slip ups. There's going to be days you go out with friends or days you can't even control what food you have access to. I know people in the program have gone down to Mexico for a vacation with their families, and you can't really control all the food you have access to like you do at home. You can't be checking the nutrition on everything. But that doesn't mean that when you come back from that Mexican holiday in paradise that you just eat as though you're still at the resort. You can come back into your habits and things will fall into place again. So for me, that was something that really surprised me was realizing, hey, it's okay if you have slip ups. It's okay if there's days you don't hit your step count. It's okay if there's weeks you don't go to the gym your 3 times a week. If overall, most of the time you're doing it, you're gonna still see a ton of progress. And that was a huge mindset shift for me.
80/20 rule, right? You've heard that before, right?
So many times.
Yeah. And there's a lot of women that forget how failure is actually the key to success, right? It sounds weird, but honestly, you have to fail in order to succeed. Like the most successful people in life have failed almost every day. Like for me as well, people think oh yeah, you're the dopest coach ever, blah blah blah. Like you're so dope. Like how do you succeed with everything? I'm like, yo, feel like I'm failing every single day. But then just as long as you show up every single day, which is what fat loss is about, and 80% of everything you do is good. 20% is whatever, naughty stuff. Uh, that's used for flexibility. That's when you're going to find a balance in your health and fitness, but also in your life as well, right? It's normal to fail. And women just have to be more, I guess, open to failure, right? That's what's going to happen. But you kind of have to use that as like data and like, that's pretty much how your body just reacts to that certain thing. And that's what we kind of learn in the program as well, right? Because not everyone's journey is going to be the same. Everyone's going to find foods that work for them. Everyone's going to find different workouts that work for them, what days to work out, etc. Right? And that's why we don't give out plans. We kind of talk about like what works best for you, right? So what's what's something you thought you'd have to give up to lose all this weight, but you didn't?
That's a good question. I wonder if my answer would be time. I think in my mind, when I thought of weight loss, maybe it's because when I was a teenager, the TV reality show was The Biggest Loser, and people would go to their camp and just spend their whole day focusing on weight loss. Like something in my head always was like, you don't have the time to do this. And when I initially started with you, I did one of the 2 week challenges. And it was in a very busy time of life for me. It was the start of a new semester for my master's. It was going back to school as a teacher after winter break, and it was the dead of winter, and you were telling me to walk 10,000 steps a day in the pouring rain, and somehow I did it. And I realized that I can have the time. I do have the time to go to the gym 3 times a week. I do have the time to go walking every day and hitting that step count goal. And the food thing, I actually really love food prep and I love cooking. So it was just a matter of kind of shifting and getting to use my love of cooking to figure out meals that worked for me, but still met my calorie and nutrition goals. But I think, yeah, the timing for the gym time and the walking was something that was a barrier for me that, yeah, I realized I could get over.
Yeah. And a lot of people nowadays, a lot of women have desk jobs. And a normal person that has a desk job usually averages at around 2 to 3,000 steps per day, which is not healthy, right? And also when you have a desk job, you are sitting down on your butt and you are numbing all the muscles that you're sitting on. So your hammies and your glutes. But also when you're sitting down, it causes you to arch your back, which causes more lower back pain, right? What we need to do more is we just got to be moving more in general, moving our glutes and hammies and our abs
Mhm.
to reduce all these pains. Like knee pain, for example, is common for people with desk jobs, lower back pain as well. Um, but honestly, you just got to move more and you just got to work out 3 times a week. A lot of women think 3 times a week is a lot. Honestly, it's not. I know a lot of women who spend 3 hours a day just doom scrolling. 5 hours a day watching Netflix, catching up on their show, right? So you do have time, you're just not prioritizing it, right?
I've also found for me, working out is best in the afternoon. Sometimes I do morning workouts, and honestly, they just don't work so well for my body. I don't feel as strong
Yeah.
and I feel tired, whatever. So afternoons work best for me, but that often means going after work. And I've found for my mental health, that's been a huge shift that I leave work. I'm very lucky. My gym is like a 5 minute drive from work. I go and I just lock into this workout that you've programmed for me and someone's telling me what to do after a day of having to tell everyone else what to do. And I just kind of like zone out. And it's the best thing because it also puts a pause. Like, do I still go home and doom scroll after? Yeah, usually. But it kind of just like, I don't know, I find it really clears my mind. And that's been another positive to adding in the workouts 3 times a week. And same for the walking, right? I don't go on my phone. I listen to music or an audiobook, but it's another time to just sort of zone out and just let the body take over, which is really powerful.
Yeah, like for me, what I see working out is or I see working out as a form of recharging, but also like meditation.
Absolutely.
Because that gives me time to because growing up I used to love listening to different albums, right? And that would be my time to listen to new music because nowadays I'm too busy to do that, right? But when I'm working out, I'm getting my steps in, that's when I listen to something new or a podcast, right? And then that's like my free time. That's when I feel more like calm, right? And that's my form of meditation. That's what I want to share with like all the ladies in the group as well, right? So, um, like, what do you think makes Coach Ben different from other trainers that you've seen online or in person? Like, what's different about me compared to other people that you've seen?
I definitely feel like there's a different kindness and compassion that you lead with. I see a lot of fitness influencers or weight loss folks on Instagram, and number one, they're like, these are the things you need to do. And then they'll list like 15 things, which is too overwhelming and too much compared to you. But also, like, when you sell it, like, you understand women are busy. You understand people have a lot going on in their lives. So, kind of the simplified formula you have, to me, feels like you're leading with compassion and kindness. You understand that this feels like an overwhelming journey. So, you're like, let me simplify it as much as possible. On top of that, I feel accountable to you, but I also know when I've explained what things are difficult for me or what I might be finding struggle with, you accept it, you honor that, and you know when to kind of challenge me versus when I need grace. And I really appreciate that. Um, and I feel like you really put me in the driver's seat. You're like, this is your choice to do this journey. So I'm here to help you along in the way that you want. So if you want my help, then you got to bring something to the table. And I'm here to help you know what to do and answer your questions and to support and encourage you. But ultimately, like, I'm the only one that can change my body. You can tell me, I could have a call with you every single day, and it wouldn't make a difference if I'm not making those changes for myself. And I think too, because I see you as like a compassionate, kind person, and I'm actually invested in you. I want to see you succeed because you've been so supportive, is like it makes me want to be successful too. Because I'm like, oh, I can't disappoint Coach Ben. Like, I want him to be proud of me. I even remember like the first time you featured me on your Instagram, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just like his star clients. And I loved it. And so, yeah, that's been great. And so, yeah, I feel like your compassion, your kindness, and yeah, that's been key for me. And just like overall, you have such a supportive attitude. Um, and I really see that in the group, in the way that you show up for us ladies. And I love seeing your positive attitude on the posts you put online. And every time you post something, I love it. It's great. It's fun. And I think like it's your personality comes out. And
Yeah,
it's clear to me that in the group there's like so much respect for you. And it's like there's a wide variety of us ladies that you work with. Yeah, we all seem to enjoy being supported by you.
dang, I didn't expect to be flattered on this call. Oh, thank you, Sam.
It's
Um,
true.
but yeah, like what I see online and what I've seen from ladies that want to join the program is there's been probably two handfuls of women who've approached me wanting to do my program, and they've talked about how they hired a coach before, an online coach before, and the way they train is just like they throw them a game plan and that's it. They don't really give a shit about how it gets done. They don't care about if life is throwing something at you like a death in the family or like sickness or school or just like mental health issues, right? They don't take account in that because a lot of these coaches that you see on the internet, a lot of them are bodybuilding coaches. And I'm not shitting on bodybuilding coaches, but 90% of them, they just give you a game plan because they expect you to have the same mindset as a bodybuilder. But honestly, like that's a very rare mindset to have. Like they have the extreme mindset where me and you are just normal people, right? All the ladies in the group are normal people, right? And it's hard to, or like it's honestly almost impossible to adopt that mindset because what they have is like a true passion to like get super big or a true passion to look the best. But then for us, it's not like that. It's we want to just look good and feel good and be healthy physically, mentally for the rest of our lives, right? And that's what we're aiming for, right? We're not aiming for like a quick fix to lose 20 pounds right away. We're aiming for a fix where we're able to lose 20 pounds and never hire a trainer anymore or never have the thought of gaining the 20 pounds again, right? So it's pretty much losing the weight and keeping it off for the rest of your life, right? In a sustainable way. That's what we're all about in the soft sculpted method, right? So, Sam, like honest question, like would you recommend the soft sculpted method to any more women? Yes or
Absolutely. And I have.
no? Okay, so look into the camera and say yes or no. Like the soft sculpted method works because blank.
Oh, the soft sculpted method works because for me, it helped me to understand all three pieces to weight loss. So now my perspective on weight loss, I've always known it's about a calorie deficit. So I literally just thought that was about nutrition, calories in. And if you go to the gym and exercise, you burn a lot of calories because when you put it into your phone apps, it says you've burned 400 calories in a 45-minute workout, and that feels great. And then you can eat 400 more calories. But what I've learned is we need to add walking into there, add more movement because we grossly overestimate how many calories we're actually just burning in a day existing as people. And if we truly want to have weight loss, then we need to burn some extra calories. And the easiest, healthiest way, in my opinion, to do that is through steps and walking. And also, we need to be having some strong muscles, and those muscles will help us burn more calories as well. So there's that strength training. And then the food is I love numbers, so I don't mind tracking the calories at all and all those things. But I also have started to build confidence that if I go out, I can look at my plate and kind of guess what a calorie situation might be, or what I might need to balance out the rest of my day in terms of meals if I'm going out for a meal with a friend, or looking at the menu and figuring out what might be the best choice, or even what substitutions I can make to help me meet my nutrition goals. So I think the self-sculpted method works because I now understand how a calorie deficit works and what I can do to keep myself in that deficit.
Cool. And you're still going out with friends on the weekend, right?
Oh, absolutely, all the
Do
time.
you drink or no?
Yeah, I do drink.
Yeah. Do you eat
But I
junk
know
food
like,
still?
but when I really like locked in, I wasn't drinking.
Mm,
So because I hated having to track the calories for it, when I put
yeah.
it in, I was like, this is too many. It's only, honestly, I would say from January to June, I was very rarely drinking. I think I drank more when I went on a holiday, but even then, I maybe had less than 10 drinks total on a 1 week holiday, which is a 1 week holiday. That's like 1.5 drinks a day. Um, and then, yeah, in the summer, I had more fun with it, but
It's summer, yeah.
it's summer, and also I had kind of reached the goal that I had wanted to reach, and now I'm more at a maintenance kind of sorting out phase. So, yeah, I've reincorporated that in, but I also recognize that I need to balance out my day in order to ensure I'm not overdoing it when I go out with friends.
Cool. Awesome. Anyways, thanks for hopping on to the podcast, Sam. Appreciate your kind words. And that's pretty much it for today. I guess we'll say bye. Bye.
See you.